And Ronaldo doesn't think that his team is being treated fairly and himself fairly, which is weird because he makes like 500,000 pounds a day. But it's whatever. But no, this is currently the saga that happened yesterday. Of course, yesterday was deadline day for the January transfer window. Yes, it was February 2nd yesterday. I do understand that, but just blame Europe. Ronaldo is upset with the lack of transfer business Al Nassr is doing. He thinks the public investment fund, that is what PIF is ensuring El Hilal wins the league. So, for people who don't understand this, which again I didn't really understand this either until I did some research, that the PIF actually funds like 4 or 5 Saudi league teams, and it feels like they're doing everything in their power to make sure El Hilal is given the enough funds to win the title and win the league. That's how Kareem Benzema, and for some reason they spent 26 million on Pablo Mari, who absolutely is dog water as a center back, just from experience. And then Ronaldo tried to actually veto the move yesterday for Kareem Benzema to move to league leaders El Hilal, saying this is making the league unfair. Benzema still ended up making the move. Ronaldo did sit out yesterday in the Saudi league, and basically what he's trying to do is sit out. And I mean, he's the face of the Saudi league. He's 100% the face. And if he sits out, I mean, what does that give the Saudi league? It gives them a bad rap. And for the MLS fans out there, you might be thinking this is a league that we are trying to compete against in terms of everything, because this is a league that is kind of on the same playing field as the MLS. And for people who don't want to agree or think like that, well, it is. And the MLS is just a peg higher. But basically, all this is Ronaldo is vetoing the move. I have some history later up as we talk about this. Probably after the break, we'll talk about the history of Ronaldo vetoing moves and sitting out and all that fun stuff. But no, that's what this is right now. Is he's upset that he doesn't think that the PIF is giving his team Al Nassr the fair shake of things, and he thinks that all these other teams and his team isn't becoming better, and all the other teams are.
So is it so in your mind this isn't him trying to correct some sort of perceived injustice. It's him just essentially saying we don't have the best guys on our team, so therefore I need to make some sort of bigger statement about the league. Because what from what I was reading when you were talking about that initially in the graphic that you showed up on the screen, there already is some sort of imbalance in the Saudi league in terms of where the talent is going. Like that is kind of manufactured, and it comes back to obviously the company that owns the different what you were talking about. But
The different
what
teams.
what is yeah, exactly. So it already seems like there's kind of an imbalance in there. Do you just think it's petty that he's sitting out and handling it the way that he's handling it?
I mean, this is a history of this happening. Ronaldo
Yeah,
is it the right way to do it? Depends on the way that you look at it. You might be thinking, "Oh, he's standing up for himself. He's standing up for his team of trying to be in the right spot." But the way that it's being portrayed to me just seems like he's just a big crybaby. Like you're telling me that you're upset that the other teams are strengthening, and this is unfair to your team. You're supposed to be the greatest ever to do this. You should be fine with this. Kareem
yeah,
Benzema's old as too. Like they're 1 point ahead of you, and sure, being Benzema being added, I'm sure strengthens it. Excuse me, but no, I just his response is very Ronaldo esque. It's very LeBron esque. It's very crybaby like.
yeah,
That's what it just feels like to me. And
yeah.
I think that to me, I think this is the wrong way of doing things. To me, I think that this is the hand that you're dealt. I mean, you played for Real Madrid for forever. You got the benefit of the doubt and everything for 10 years. I mean, you got the moves you wanted every way you want, every stop you made outside when he was a teenager. But ever since he moved to Real Madrid, Juventus, Man United, he's gotten every move he's wanted. He's vetoed
Yeah.
managers for crying out loud. That's later on. But he's gotten everything that he needs, and he's crying about it. I mean, I get it for himself. He's standing up for himself. He's got so much pull as it is anyway. But it just sounds like you're just being a crybaby about it. You know what? Go out there and go play the games. Ultimately, everything is on paper. Sure, it looks like El Hilal's got an advantage, but you know what? the games aren't played on paper. The games are played out in the field. Go out there and win it. Stop bitching about it. Go get it done. You're Ronaldo. You're supposedly the best player of all time. Get it done.
You're right.
Stop crying about
Yeah.
it.
And that's what that's what I sometimes I feel like, at least maybe with you and other people, that's what just doesn't sit well with them, especially if you want to do the whole Messi and Ronaldo comparison, which I know we talked about. We should really just like kind of carve out like an entire half-hour segment on our show just to talk Messi v
Probably.
Ronaldo, because obviously just how big of a conversation that is in the game. But I think this is a big portion of it. Like you don't hear a lot from Messi in that way. Messi just goes out and plays. He just goes out and balls. Whereas you look at Ronaldo, and there's always some level of drama, to your point, that follows him everywhere he goes, every league he's a part of, every team that he's on. And the older that you get, I feel like that entitlement just becomes more and more. We see the same thing with LeBron. You know, he feels like there are more strings that he can pull. There's more influence that he can have. The only difference between someone like LeBron and a Ronaldo is I don't know if LeBron necessarily influences other decisions in the league. Like, I don't know if LeBron looks at OKC and goes, hey, you guys are going so comfortably over the luxury tax that you're
No,
financially burying yourself, but you're stacked, you know.
no, the Saudi league's
But
also much newer. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
there's easier to have an influence, whereas the NBA, you really can't influence the league's decisions. You can't really influence
Yeah, it's more
anything else. That's kind of
established.
what
Yeah.
the higher ups are for, to influence all those
Yeah.
decisions. Yeah, LeBron can
Right.
100% influence his team's decisions, but he can't go out there and influence anything else. I think Ronaldo is just using his influence and his power to make the Saudi league look bad, and him saying, I
Mm,
look it. The only reason, if you were to take Ronaldo out of the league, I bet you they lose more than half their viewers, because there's one reason why they're looking at this league. And there's a reason
yep.
why people are watching the MLS. It's for
Major League
Messi.
Soccer. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if
Yep.
if you take if the MLS were to decide to take Messi out of the league, I mean, the league would lose a ton of viewership. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the MLS would collapse or anything, because they've survived long enough without Messi, but the amount of new viewers you would get would worsen, just because of the pull that Messi has, and
Yeah.
especially the pull that he's got within Inter Miami. But it just, I think all he's trying to do is Ronaldo is, and there's actually, we'll talk more about it after breaks here, of where he could end up, because it's leaning that Ronaldo is leaving, and the MLS is on the cards for him. Ronaldo, that is. And I mean, how crazy would that be to have Messi and Ronaldo in the MLS? But it just seems like he is putting the ball in the Saudis' court, and it failed for him. And ultimately, I think that we're going to see a departure of Ronaldo in the Saudi league, and that ultimately, I mean, they're going to save a ton of money. I mean, the guy makes like 400, 300 billion a year, whatever it is. So
Yeah.
it's not like he's
Yeah.
hurting or anything. He gets an
Yep.
80K bonus for every goal he scores, and a
Didn't
40K bonus for every assist.
Yeah.
It's like Kurt
Right.
Warner in the Arena Football League. He gets $100 for every touchdown. He's like, well, I'm going to throw for 9 touchdowns today and make $900. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's just that he's making the league look bad, and ultimately he knows, and I think the league knows, if you make your one superstar in that league upset, and the player that is the sole reason why people come and view your league, you make him upset, you want him out, the league's gonna fold. And I mean,
Yeah.
the Chinese Super League. I've always said this. There's every 10 years or so, there's going to be a new soccer league that pops up in a country where there's a lot of money, and a league that isn't established yet. And we saw it with the
Yeah.
Chinese Super League, and we've seen it with the Saudi League. But the thing is eventually all that collapses, because A, they don't really have the money. 2, the views and sponsors don't really come in. 3, eventually your superstars, the reason why people come to watch them, start to get upset. You don't pay them, because sometimes people have said they don't get paid for months. And eventually those players then leave, the league collapses. But for a
Yeah.
brief couple of months, everyone thinks that this league is going to take over the Prem, La Liga, Bundesliga. That's just not the case. And eventually we're going to see the same thing with the Saudi League, just like we saw the Chinese Super League probably 10-ish years ago. I don't remember exactly when all that happened.
Well, with the amount of money that is being thrown around by the Saudis, I almost feel like there's kind of like this like sense of like invincibility. Like they have the money to be too big to never fail.
They
And
should
the
just
truth
stick with
is that
boxing. It's
they're trying
cheap.
to break into. Yeah, that's
It's
true. But
cheap
they're
for
trying to
them.
break into every market because the amount of money that they do have, obviously
One
the
fight
oil
a
money and
month.
the everything else,
One fight a month. You're fine. You can sustain.
they'll
Like,
probably do it.
take over boxing for crying out loud. You have that. I mean, boxing's dying as it is anyway. It's just becoming a
They're
meme
trying
at
to
this
take
point.
over they're trying to take over rugby, which I don't know. I mean, it's still a niche sport, but I mean, I guess they can make probably a super league over there. But I get what you're saying. It's more Ronaldo making it about Ronaldo and less about addressing what the perceived corruption is. Which again, there are ways of going about that, but just by sitting it out, it feels like a hey, look at me kind of moment for him. But